Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, no matter where you are, whenever you're watching this. This is Floating in Dreams, and today's video is going to be my roundup of all the new makeup releases that have been announced, top 5, bottom 5 style. Welcome to everybody watching today's video. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today we are going to be doing a video about new makeup releases that have been announced in the past couple of weeks. I do a video like this once a month, and I like to go about it top 5, bottom 5 style, with sometimes like a category in the middle depending on how many announcements there have been, where I sort of go like, yeah, that's nice, but maybe not right now, or not for me, or maybe at some point. So there's definitely sort of like a selection that I've already made. Plus, I do not chat about all of the new releases because that just overwhelmed me a little too much. So just to make sure I stay sane, I only pick and choose the things that do spark my interest to begin with, and I don't just chat about everything. So in case you're unfamiliar with this channel, hi, my name is Maaike. I live in the Netherlands. I love coming on here to chat about eyeshadow palettes, which is why that's what's going to come up mostly in today's video. I love chatting about Essence and Catrice products as well, so guess what we're going to be talking about in this video. But I also love getting the use out of my makeup, which is why I don't focus on the newest of the new on this channel. I definitely pick and choose. I very often will wait a couple of weeks or months before I even make a purchase for a product. I don't like dive right on top of it, because very often what I have found with my fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, that not all of the makeup that gets hyped up is right for my snow angel like skin. And if you're like that and you would like to join my little snow angel family on this platform, then consider subscribing by clicking the button down below. So let's talk about some new makeup. Before we get into this top 5, bottom 5, I have to also chat to you about an announcement that I got in my email. I haven't seen any images yet, but Lisa Eldridge is coming out with new lipsticks this coming Friday, the 8th of July. And I'm very much umming and ahhing what I will do with that announcement, because a couple of weeks ago, she restocked her luxuriously lucent lipsticks. And I was very happy with that because I tried a couple of those last year. I love the formula, and I was like, okay, I want to buy all of them. But now she's coming out with 7 additional shades, plus she's bringing back the insanely saturated lipsticks that I already have 2 shades by, and she's coming out with 3 new shades in that. But then I'm like, you know, Lisa Eldridge lipsticks don't come cheap. They're 33 euros a pop. Am I going to be spending 330 euros on new lipstick just so I can make a video about it? Because that was my plan for July, to do a video with my luxuriously lucent lipsticks. Only to find out that Miss Lisa is coming out with 7 new shades, and I currently do not have the funds to be pouring into this video. So that's why I'm definitely going to be buying like 2 or 3 of these lipsticks, because I love them just too much. And I definitely want to see which shades she comes out with first, and then sort of like I did with my True Velvets, slowly build up the collection and maybe like purchase a couple of these over the next couple of months. And then my Lisa Eldridge luxuriously lucent lipstick video is just gonna have to be moved back until like the fall time, because I cannot warrant spending that amount of money on lipstick right now and just to do a video. I know it will do well, and I know that if I get it straight away and I can get that video up really quickly, that people are going to lap it up and it's going to do wonders for my algorithm. But at the moment, like, I've just gone over like one of the most stressful situations in my lifetime, because I've just renovated both my kitchen and my bathroom at the same time. So I'm just still in like renovation mode. I barely even thought of doing my makeup in the past couple of weeks. So I'm sort of like going to use July as my way to sort of get back into the swing of things, and then spending a ton of money on new product isn't something that I think I want to do. So I definitely want to get a few of the shades, but I'm just going to move around some of my other lipstick videos ideas that I had, and then we're just going to chat about some other things in terms of lipstick this month, because I do want to still do a Lisa Eldridge video with all of the luxuriously lucent lipsticks, but if she's coming out with 7 new shades, it's a bit much. It's a bit much. So for me, I'm definitely going to like look at the shades and see what's going on. I could still do a shade, like I could do a video with just the original 7 shades that I have, and like film it and make it go live the day the launch happens. I could do that too. So I'm not sure yet what I want to do. What do you guys think? What should I do? do a video with the shades I already have, or wait for the new launch, get those over time, and then do one video. I'm still undecided. But yeah, YouTuber ramblings aside, let's get into this top 5, bottom 5. And as per usual, I'm going to start with the bottom 5 first so that we can end this video on a high note. So bottom 5 releases that have been announced. And I have to start this off with an announcement that was made already when my previous video went live, but I had completely skipped over it. It sparked my interest initially because the new LH Cosmetics palette looks really stunning. It's a cool tone palette, and some of you were asking me why I hadn't mentioned it. Here's the reason why. Because it looks to me like it was a Makeup Revolution eyeshadow palette. Like when I was just scrolling through my Instagram, this didn't strike me as like high-end, good quality makeup, and I thought LH Cosmetics, what brand is that? Apparently, that's the new name of Linda Hallberg's makeup line, which I also didn't know. So I kind of just went by the looks of it, and to be quite fair, it just doesn't look exciting to me. And then I found out, because this is available on Beauty Bay, well, it's out of stock at the moment, that this 9-pan retails for 50 euros. And then I was like, does it look like anything I don't have yet in my collection? No, because it looks quite similarly to my Lorac Pro 3. No, Lorac Pro 2, I should say. And that palette I almost decluttered because I never reach for that color story because I find it too gray toned. What is my issue with the LH Cosmetics palette? It's too gray toned. I wish there were a few more taupey browns in this, and then I would have liked it a lot more. The purple and the blue in this palette definitely like just stand out to you, and that's what your eye is drawn to. But I don't need more blues and purples. Like I kind of don't, even though this is very much in line with something that I would create myself. I did a video on that. I'll make sure to link that down below. It's boring cool tones to me, and I am just over cool tones being gray all the time. Like, brands need to start understanding that cool tones can be so much more than just gray tones, and this palette to me is just too gray. And maybe it's because of the packaging, because it's a silvery gray packaging that it comes in. I don't know, it just doesn't excite me. Then there's a new announcement from Pat McGrath. There's two actually that I'm going to be mentioning, but this is the one for the eyeshadow palette. She has come out with like a new more affordable range. Well, is Pat McGrath ever going to be affordable? But she has these small mini palettes right now, and there's a purple one that's now been announced. And I've seen a lot of people going crazy for this, and I'm like, no. Like, I understand from Pat McGrath's brand as a, their perspective that offering more affordable makeup is going to bring more people into the brand. So I like that, but one of the reasons why I would buy Pat McGrath is because I have to save up for it and then buy one of the more expensive products and get better quality at that. Because a lot of people have said that these more budget versions of Pat McGrath products aren't always like the same quality as their like mothership palettes. So I don't think it's necessarily going to be worth the price point. And I think that this is still going to be pretty overpriced for what it is. I mean, if you want a good purple palette, I mean, BH Cosmetics is back in business. They do some lovely purples. The Glam Shop brand does 9 pans that are 20 euros. They ship internationally, and they do some stunning purple 9 pans as well. So I think you can get this kind of color story at a much more affordable price point. So I understand it from the brand's perspective, but it's just not something that I need. And then Dose of Colors also came out with a new launch, which is like a rebrand of the liquid lipsticks, and it now comes in a set with a pencil, which I love for them. I mean, this is one of their most popular products for sure, but Dose of Colors, I believe, has all but disappeared from the European market. They used to be for sale on Beauty Bay. They're no longer on there as far as I know. And they were always marked up super duper, like super much on there as well. Like you had to pay an arm and a leg for a Dose of Colors palette. So for me, this is just not really interesting from that perspective, because I'd have to go onto their US website, meaning I have to go pay for customs and shipping and doing all that. And you know, liquid lipstick, not really my thing anymore. Lip liner has never been my thing. So this is just not a product for me, but I think that for the brand, it's a really good launch. Urban Decay. Oh boy, I discussed them last time. They came out with mini palettes. Guess what they're doing now? Another mini palette. It's a mini of the Wild West. And again, from the brand perspective and what they're trying to do, I get it, because this can appeal to a lot of people. Hey, you don't want the large palette, but you want a small one. Here we've got some shades that we've selected from the larger palette, and now you can buy it as a mini. It's just that either release those things at the same time so people have a choice, but anyone who already has the larger palette isn't going to buy the mini. So, I mean, I get it. I think that the Naked Wild West is a really pretty palette. It has a really good balance between warm tones and cool tones, and then those teals in there, and one of the teal shimmers is also in this mini palette. So I think you get some good shades in here. I like it, and I think it can appeal to like a wide range of audiences. If you walk up to their counter and you see this is going to be something that you might like. It's just that they kind of shut themselves in the foot by releasing the larger palette as a limited edition first. And now they're sort of like teasing people who hadn't bought that yet, like going, hey, do you want the mini palette? But anyone with the larger palette isn't going to buy this. They're just not. So again, I've already mentioned several times how I think that Urban Decay isn't necessarily making the best business decisions at the moment. And this is another one of those. Another example of how they're just not really understanding the market anymore. Then Essence. I'm going to be mentioning another Essence release in a minute, but they've come out with the like Lash Princess eyeliner. It's in the same packaging as the mascara, but then it's like a felt tip, really thick, chunky eyeliner. And I'm like, who is this for? Like, who is going to buy this? Like, who in their right mind has ever wanted these really thick, chubby eyeliners? Because I definitely didn't. I definitely don't like this kind of style of eyeliner. I don't wear a lot of eyeliner to begin with. If I want eyeliner, I use eyeshadow. So for me, this is just not perfect. From a brand perspective, I think that it's good that they're trying to like zoom in on this Lash Princess success that they're having, and that they're trying to milk a little bit for, you know, whatever it's worth. But really, a chubby eyeliner? No. Then I have a maybe section for you today. So I have 5 releases that are interesting to me that I'm like, ooh, nice. But for whatever reason, I'm not purchasing it straight away, or it's just something I'm going to be putting on the back burner for sure. And first up, I need to mention the bronzer sticks from LYS. LYS was definitely a brand that was on my try in 2022 list. And if you saw my haul from June, you will have seen that I got 2 of their cream blushes, because that's what I was most interested in. Their cream bronzer in the pan also looked stunning, but my shade was out of stock. And now they're doing this as a stick. And I really like the whole cream bronzer and blush and highlighter game at the moment. I'm definitely into creams this year. That's definitely been one of the things I've sort of dipped my toe a bit more into. But this is one of those things where I'm like, I first want to try the quality of those blushes before I decide whether I want to commit to buying more products from this brand. First want to check out the products I already own before I dive into more. Then Uoma Beauty has come out with a new collection, and this looks stunning. Like, Uoma Beauty is one of those brands that I've been like looking at from a distance, and everything they do kind of sparks my interest, but then I never bite the bullet because they are at a slightly higher price point. And I just don't hear that many people talking about them, so that's why I wanted to put them in this video to talk about them myself, because their eyeshadow palettes have had really cool color stories in the past. They are very deep and dark and saturated though, so a lot of the line I feel definitely doesn't go with the kind of aesthetic that I want to achieve when I do my makeup, which is more like everyday, neutrally kind of like glowy skin. It seems to be more like full-on glam, full beat makeup. So that's another reason why this brand hasn't really been much on my radar, but this new release, like that eyeshadow palette, it looks stunning. But again, a brand I can only buy from Beauty Bay, and ever since Brexit, Beauty Bay has upped their prices to counter, like, pretty much they say you don't have to pay for customs, but in a way you do, because they've upped all of their prices so much. So that's why I'm trying to sort of like not buy from Beauty Bay too often, because it gets pretty expensive. Then we have another Pat McGrath release, the new Duo blushes. People were already tagging me in this, like, you're gonna love this. I really like the concept of this, and my Divine blush in Divine Rose from Pat McGrath is one of my all-time favorite blushes. Great formula, great blendability. I love that mauve shade that it has. But with these duo blushes, I am a little bit confused. I am, because the shades that they've put together kind of put me off. So this is one of those things where I'm like, I need to see this in real life. And if I see it in real life and I see how these swatch and how the shades like blend into one shade, then I might be able to pick which shade would be best for me. Now we're supposed to be getting a Pat McGrath counter here in Rotterdam, because there's been this sign where Becca used to be, coming soon, Pat McGrath, but that's been like that for months. So I don't know. Let's hope that Pat McGrath is coming to my town in the next couple of weeks, months, whatever, and I can actually try these blushes. If not, I'm just gonna have to go to Paris again. Bummer. Then next up we have Wayne Goss, who's come out with a new eyeshadow palette. I hadn't tried much Wayne Goss at all, and then at the end of 2021, I don't know how I ended up on Beautylish, but for some reason I wanted to purchase something that I could only get from Beautylish, and that's where Wayne Goss is sold. Again, a little bit more expensive because they do, like, it is a US based website, so with shipping and handling, it can get a little bit expensive, but Beautylish is another one of those retailers that does calculate your shipping and handling fees at checkout, which I love because I always feel that's a little bit more affordable than when your customs office does it for you. And so I did pick up a gloss and one of his cheek products. None of the eyeshadow palettes he has released up until this point has made me go like, ooh. And then he released this one. And I'm like, that could be something I can get down with. But like LYS, I've tried the gloss. I haven't tried the cheek palette all that much yet. And I'm like, I first want to give his products a bit more of a test drive to really make up my mind about how I feel about the quality of the product, because it is a more expensive brand. And then I'm like, do I really want to put my money towards this? That eyeshadow palette looks really stunning, but it's very neutral and similar to other things that I have. So do I need it? I do want to try his eyeshadow formula though. So it's sort of like I'm going on the fence, like back and forth. Maybe Black Friday? Maybe it's one of those things I need to just like then like place myself a Beautylish order for Black Friday. Maybe that's the way I need to go. I don't know yet. This is not a straight up buy, but I think at some point in the future, because his brand does interest me, that goes with the aesthetic that I'm going after. So I definitely think that at some point in my life, I will be picking up this eyeshadow palette. Glamlight and Michaela are doing another collab. So I just recently, like in the past, the renovation has really affected me because I couldn't do much else than sit around and wait for these people to finish in my house, but I had to be at home, but I couldn't really like read a book because it was too noisy. So I got myself a TikTok account, and I now know who Michaela is, and I do watch her videos on TikTok, and I'm completely sucked into that whole TikTok thing. And I don't know why, but as a content creator, I now have this renewed like interest, and I'm like, you know what? I could do videos on there too. So I now have this like brainwave going on of like TikTok video ideas. So who knows, maybe this girl by the end of summer is going to be posting videos on TikTok as well. Who knows? I don't have the time though, but we're gonna have to figure something out. But yeah, so I now know who Michaela is. She does some stunning makeup looks. Wow, the girl knows how to do makeup. Again, I've tried Glamlight in the past. Didn't love the formula. So that's my main reason for not going for this. But man, blue, purple, green, like it's my colors, but then we get warm tones. And I'm like, no can do. So for me, if this were the same creator with the same color story, but a different brand, whose quality I know I'd love, I would go for this in a heartbeat. But because it's Glamlight, and because I'm one of the very few people who doesn't love their shimmer formula, I don't want to have to use 4 layers for it to go on fully opaque. Like, I just don't. I have too many good shimmers in my eyeshadow palette collection that I don't need that kind of stress in my life. So that's why we're going to pass up on this for now. But the color story is absolutely gorgeous. Very on point. And then we're getting to the top 5 part of this video, and some of this I have already purchased. I'm not gonna lie. In fact, one of the things I'm going to be mentioning, well, it's actually two things in one go, but I already did a video with it. Wow, for once, I'm like, at least to a certain degree, I'm actually like on point with new makeup releases. But yeah, the ABH Nouveau palette. I saw this and instantly it tickled that itch, and then I actually, like, every month I get a little bit of AdSense from this channel and my blog, and I try to be very diligent in putting that money towards making purchases for the channel. So I found myself on Beauty Bay and they had a 25% discount, and I was like, might as well pick it up. So next month, when you see my haul, you'll see what I picked up in that Beauty Bay haul, and the ABH palette is one of them. So this is currently making its way to me. It's not here yet as I'm filming this. Perhaps by the time you're watching this, it may be. I'm filming this a couple of days in advance. Another new release is the Essence and Catrice limited edition collections that they came out with. I filmed a video with them last Thursday. I found myself in a bit of a pickle because I didn't use any of my eyeshadow palettes in the month of June that I had selected, so I couldn't do a 10 palette review video. So I decided, let's see if Essence and Catrice are doing anything new. And then I was scrolling Instagram and I saw the new Catrice products and I was like, ooh, that looks like a fun thing to try out for the channel. So I got the bronzer, I got the cheek palette, I got the eyeshadow palette, and this is some good Essence and Catrice quality. The reason why I ended up buying the Essence stuff as well is because I was like, it's not enough to do a full face with, so let's see if Essence has anything new in. So I was on the Boozy Shop website, because that's where I bought these from, and you know, they did this Jurassic World collection. It looked really fun and vibrant, and they did all these brushes, and I was like, yep, that could be a fun video to make. So I had fun trying out these products. The quality was great. Also of the Essence ones, like, it was the good Essence quality, and I really liked the look that came out of it. So yeah, very fun, summery, bronzy, warm toned. Like, I don't love warm tones most of the year, but if we're going warm toned, it's like July, August, possibly part of September. That's when I like to go for the warm tones. Then Gloaming. This is the Australian indie brand, and they're coming out with a neutral palette, and I saw this, I was like, Gloaming is another one of those brands that's like always on the back of my mind, like looking at their releases going like, are you doing anything I'd like? Their Nocturnal palette that they came out with earlier this year, I also really found intriguing, but that to me was too much like subculture. I still have subculture from ABH, so I felt I didn't need it. But this neutral palette really tickles an itch. Like, it really, really does. I think by the time you're watching this video, it's already available, but it could sell out really quickly. I'm still on the fence whether I want to buy it straight away or that I want to wait for a restock. With Gloaming, I'm not too sure how their restocking works though. Like, they don't seem to restock things often. That sort of makes me a little bit nervous, and that's one of the things, like, with some indie brands, I was like, I also had this issue with Menagerie where, you know, you need to be there when they launch it, else you can't get the product. And, you know, I'm just someone who likes to think over things and get a bit of time and being able to budget for things and then allocate the money. Because I just did this huge renovation in my house, I'm sort of much more like looking for home wares right now than I am looking for makeup bits. So that's why I'm sort of like still on the fence. Maybe, who knows. I think that also, another thing that I read, but I'm not sure whether it was this palette or the Nocturnal restock, but I believe they did say that it wouldn't ship. Like, it's already available for ordering right now, but they won't ship it until 6 to 8 weeks from now, I believe. So that's another reason I'm sort of like, do I want that? Like, do I want to wait then? Like, do I want to spend the money now and then wait 6 to 8 weeks for it to get to me? I'm still on the fence, but I do really like it. This is definitely one of my favorite releases of the month so far. Rare Beauty is coming out with lipsticks and lip liners. Yay! I think that's a good thing. They definitely did some of these like liquid balmy, lip glossy kind of things. Stunning, but maybe not for everyone. So I'm glad to see that they're now coming out with lipsticks. If I find myself near a Rare Beauty counter, which it's not going to happen anytime soon because I physically have to go to Paris in order to do that. But yeah, I can buy these online from the French Sephora website if I'd like to. And Rare Beauty is currently one of my favorite brands to try. So that's why I'm super excited for this one. But again, not something I can buy straight away. And then last but not least, Sydney Grace, my favorite indie brand, if I may say so, is coming out with brushes. Sydney Grace has some stunning single shadows. And the minute I saw these brushes, I was like, and currently one of the things I'm really into is makeup brushes. Like, I had a couple of makeup brush brands on my wish list to try. I bought some Refer brushes earlier this spring. I'm currently looking into BK brushes, BK Beauty brushes, I believe they're called. I believe Kelly Gooch uses them all the time. So I'm just buying, like looking into these sets and looking into them. And this Sydney Grace brush release is like, ooh. So I know I'm going to get these, but again, because Sydney Grace is a US-based indie brand, the shipping can be a little bit outrageously expensive. So I definitely need to look into these. I'm going to let them release these first, and then eventually they'll restock it. Sydney Grace is really good with keeping products in their line, and they don't discontinue things. So I'm in no hurry to pick these up, but I know I'm going to buy myself some Sydney Grace brushes sometime in the next couple of months. Maybe before the end of the year, maybe early next year. They usually do some pretty good Black Friday sales. Usually they do a Christmas in July sale as well, but as I already mentioned, I'm currently like much more focused on homewares than I am on makeup, budgeting wise. So yeah, I'm gonna definitely put these on the back burner, but this is definitely a release I'm very interested in. And that's it. There you have it. Those are all of the new makeup releases that I wanted to mention in today's video. Let me know in a comment down below. What is your favorite release that has been announced? I would love to know. And I hope you would like to thumbs up the video and stick around for more, because I make several videos a week. Hope you have a great day, everybody, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.